Good morning and welcome to the Committee on Ways and Means. Committee Secretary, will you please call the roll?
Assemblywoman Anderson. Assemblywoman Backus. Assemblywoman Brown-May. Assemblywoman Dickman. Assemblywoman Gorlow. Assemblyman Hafen. Assemblywoman Howdigi. Assemblywoman Kasama. Assemblyman Miller. Assemblyman O'Neill. Assemblywoman Peters. Assemblyman Watts. Assemblyman Yeager. And Chair Monroe Marino.
And I am here. Will you please mark Assemblywoman Hadigi, Assemblywoman Kasama, and Speaker Yeager present as they arrive. Members, everything is going to be seriously fluid today, and we'll be taking things on our agenda out of order because there's folks multitasking between committees. So with that being said, we will open the hearing for Senate Bill 99, and we'll welcome Senator Gokachia to the table. Good morning.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Is that working? Something else going on here too I don't need. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Senator Pete Gokachia representing Senate District 19 and bringing you Senate Bill 99. I'm going to be extremely brief with this. It's been through Ways and Means. It's an appropriation of $600,000 a year for a cloud seeding program. I know we've had an extremely wet winter and everybody's tired of being wet and the snow, but the bottom line is we don't know what's coming. Clearly we've got all the generators in place and I'm trying to, excuse me, I don't know how that happened, but.
You're very popular this morning.
Yeah. I just came out of finance. I thought it was muted down there. That hasn't happened, but I apologize. Something must have bumped it on the way up. Anyway, we've got the generators in place. It's both north and south. We've got generators on Charleston and Rubies here on the Walker drainage. They're ready. We had the program stood up and has been there for 10 years. But with the last 10 years, because we didn't have any funding, we haven't been running the program. Folks, we need the water. I think we all agree on that, or we probably will. And although I'm saying this with the Carson and the Walker and flood stage and the Truckee, but next year will be a different story. If we get it front through, we need to seed it. That's really all it is, an appropriation. Let's stand the program back up and get it running. I've got Tracy with me from DRI if you have any technical questions, because I just know what they look like. The generators, that is. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So members, SB 99 makes an appropriation to the Desert Research Institute for the Nevada System of Higher Education to support the Nevada State Cloud Seeding Program. And yes, as the Senator stated, we have a lot of water this year, but that has not been the case. So it's a very important program for our state. Do you have any questions for Senator or DRI? Not seeing any. Thank you so much. We will move to testimony in support of Senate Bill 99.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Tracy Bauer with DRI. I'm just here in support of SB 99, and we sincerely thank Senator Gokachia for bringing this bill forward.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Alejandro Rodriguez, Nevada System of Higher Education, and she's in strong support of this bill. Thank you very much.
Michael Flores with the University of Nevada, Reno. We work really closely with DRI on a number of projects and proud to support this. Thank you.
Thank you. Not seeing anyone else here in Carson City to provide testimony in support, we will move to Las Vegas. Is there anyone there in the audience in Las Vegas that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 99? Not seeing any. BPS, do we have anyone join us on the phone line that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 99?
If you would like to testify in support on Assembly or Senate Bill 99, please press *9 now to take your place in the queue. There are no callers choosing to testify in support at this time.
Thank you so much. And I think I said Assembly Bill, I meant Senate Bill. So if there's anyone here that would like to testify in opposition of Senate Bill 99, I invite you to the table. Not seeing anyone come to the table here in Carson City. We will move to Las Vegas. Do we have anyone that would like to testify in opposition of Senate Bill 99 in Las Vegas? Not seeing any. BPS, do we have anyone joining us on the phone line that would like to testify in opposition of Senate Bill 99?
If you would like to testify in opposition to Senate Bill 99, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. There are no callers choosing to testify in opposition at this time.
Thank you so much. And with that, we'll move to the neutral position. If there's anyone here in Carson City or in Las Vegas that would like to testify in the neutral position on Senate Bill 99, I invite you to the table. Not seeing anyone move to the table in either location. VPS, do we have anyone on the phone line that would like to provide neutral testimony on Senate Bill 99?
If you would like to testify in neutral on Senate Bill 99, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. There are no callers choosing to testify in neutral at this time.
Thank you so much. And with that, we will ask the presenter, do you have any closing comments? Awesome. Then we will close the hearing on Senate Bill 99. And members, the bill appropriation is $600,000 in each year of the 23-25 biennium, and that is listed in the bill. There are no amendments that would be necessary on this side, so I would open the work session on Senate Bill 99 and accept a motion to do pass.
Madam Chair, I'd move to do pass Senate Bill 99.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblyman Watts. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing any. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimous of the members present. Thank you. Moving on, and as I said, we will be taking things a little out of order. We're going to go to Senate Bill 189. And Senate Bill 189 makes an appropriation to communities and schools of Nevada for the purpose of providing integrated student support services. And we'll welcome you to the table. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the Assembly Committee on Ways and Means. For the record, Alex Bybee with Communities and Schools of Nevada. We will keep our presentation this morning brief, no slide deck included. The Majority Leader is unfortunately unable to join us for the bill presentation today, but is of course grateful for the committee's consideration of the bill this morning. Joining me at the table is our CEO and State Director, Tammy Hance-Lair, who's available to answer any questions should the committee have any concluding the presentation. The bill before you is pretty straightforward. Would provide $2 million in general funds to communities and schools of Nevada over the biennium for the purposes of expanding integrated student support services in Title I and high-need schools across the state. We currently operate in the Clark, Elko, Humboldt, and Washoe County School District, serving 92 schools. Our 3-year strategic plan has us in 125. Obviously, the needs of students and families have become even more profound and exacerbated as a result of the closure of school buildings and the pandemic that we're still recovering from. The organization has a 20-year track record in Nevada, and the intent with the funds would be to expand our supports to an additional number of school campuses to ensure students are improving their attendance, their behavior, their academic performance, promoting to the next grade level, and graduating from high school. Notably, in the last 2 interims, the Legislative Committee on Education has voted unanimously to provide funding to wraparound supports for our students once those supports become available. And as is probably relevant for this committee, given that this is the Money Committee, an independent study on communities and schools in Nevada found a 12-to-1 return on investment for taxpayer dollars over the long term for students that stay in school and complete their high school education. We appreciate the committee's consideration, and we would be delighted to answer any questions that you may have at this time.
Thank you. Members, any questions? So as amended in the Senate and your first reprint, the bill contains a $2 million general fund appropriations. There are no fiscal notes associated with the bill, just simply the appropriation. Not seeing any questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee.
We will invite up to the table anyone that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 189. Not seeing anyone come up to the table here in Carson City. Going to Las Vegas, is there anyone that would like to provide testimony in support of Senate Bill 189? Not seeing any. BPS, do we have anyone joining us on the phone line that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 189?
If you would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 189, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. There are no callers choosing to testify in support at this time.
Thank you so much. Then we will come back to Carson City. Is there anyone here in the audience that would like to testify in opposition of Senate Bill 189? Not seeing any. Is there anyone in Las Vegas that would like to testify in opposition of Senate Bill 189? Not seeing any. BPS, do we have anyone joining us on the phone line that would like to testify either in opposition or neutral on Senate Bill 189?
If you would like to testify in opposition or neutral on Senate Bill 189, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. There are no callers choosing to testify in opposition or neutral at this time.
Thank you so much. So coming back to Carson City, is there anyone here that would like to provide neutral testimony on Senate Bill 189? Not seeing any. Is there anyone in Las Vegas that would like to provide neutral testimony on Senate Bill 189? Not seeing anyone go to the table there. Is there any final remarks you have? All right, seeing no final remarks, we will close the hearing for Senate Bill 189. And members, as I stated, there are no fiscal notes associated with this bill. The $2 million appropriation, general fund appropriation, is within the bill as amended on the Senate side. So we'll open the work session for Senate Bill 189, and I will accept a motion to do pass.
Madam Chair, I'd move to do pass Senate Bill 189.
We have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblyman Watts. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing any. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimous of the members present. Members will just be in a short recess. The next presenter is on their way up. Good morning. And we will call the meeting back to order, and we will move to the next item on our agenda, and that is Senate Bill 231. And we will welcome Senate Majority Leader Canizaro to the table. Good morning.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the committee. It is a pleasure to be with you this morning. My name is Nicole Canizaro. I represent Senate District 6 in the northwest portion of the Las Vegas Valley and am here to present to you Senate Bill 231. And this is a bill that comes before you from myself and the Speaker, and after a lot of conversations over what I know we all know is a crisis, and that is teacher pay raises. I will spare you from the wonderful presentation from the Speaker, where I think in Senate Finance we got the we didn't start the fire stuck in our heads. So I hope you all don't now sing that in your heads all day long. But suffice to say that I think we all know of a special teacher who touched us in some fashion, who encouraged us, who taught us something that we didn't know, who sparked joy for learning, or some sort of creative piece, or a musical talent, or some sort of passion for learning in some capacity. And I think that you all probably are thinking of an individual in your heads. And I hope that that comes to mind when we are talking about Senate Bill 231, because I know that as a product of the public schools in Clark County, my parents didn't have an education, and really those teachers that were watching me in those classrooms were really what motivated me to be able to be sitting here before all of you today. And so Senate Bill 231 really does touch on how it is that we are able to attract qualified people into the profession of teaching, and how we are able to keep those who are doing that very difficult yet important job every single day. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, teachers in the United States earned an average of $66,397 compared to $57,804 in Nevada in 2021-22, which is a difference of over $8,500. So what Senate Bill 231 seeks to do to help address this issue is to appropriate $250 million from the State General Fund to the Interim Finance Committee for allocation to school districts for the support of public schools. This money may only be allocated to a district if sufficient documentation demonstrates that the district has budgeted for an increase in salaries for teachers and for other educational personnel or paraprofessionals. And so I wanted to just take a moment to note that this bill does now, with one amendment we adopted in the Senate, talk about both teachers and support staff throughout the school and those paraprofessionals that exist in our classrooms as well, from sources other than this money, in addition to any salary increase planned or bargained for prior to the effective date of the bill. And that the budgeted salary increase does not replace or supplant any other forms of compensation provided before fiscal year 2023-24, or which was planned or bargained for in 2023-2024 or after. Additionally, the $250 million may only be allocated if the school district has submitted a statement to the IFC concerning the budgeted salary increase, and the district superintendent has submitted a signed statement to IFC certifying the information and that the district will provide the salary increases. Subsection 3 provides that the allocation of this money to a district must not exceed a certain amount, as outlined in the bill. And subsection 4 requires school districts to report personnel numbers to Nevada's Department of Education. The department will then compile and submit this information to IFC by August 15th of this year. And subsection 6 addresses any remaining balance of the appropriation left in 2025. So this is really intended to make sure that districts are providing raises, that when they submit proper documentation to IFC to demonstrate that we would then be able to match that to sort of provide that robust support so we can actually get some teacher raises to those folks in our classrooms who are teaching all of our kids and supporting all of those teachers and our kids every single day. With that, Madam Chair, one more thing. We did, there was an fiscal note that was addressed for an appropriation to the Department of Education for, I think it was $4 million and change, so that they could administer this particular piece of it. And I believe that was attached when it came out of the Senate through an amendment as well. So with that, Madam Chair, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you so much. Members, any questions? Assemblywoman Anderson.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for recognizing the need for an increase in pay. So I want to make sure that possibly I can get just a little bit of clarification. With the verification that is needed to be turned into IFC, could that be a collective bargaining agreement that has been collectively bargained based upon the historical increases that have actually was passed already and signed? Or are you looking for a different sort of documentation, or would that be a decision of you, IFC, the Department of Ed?
Thank you so much for the question, Assemblywoman Nicole Cannizzaro, Senate District 6, through you, Madam Chair, to Assemblywoman Anderson. So I believe that the language of this particular bill would allow for, it doesn't prescribe the exact documentation. I think the most important piece, right, is that it's got to be a salary increase that wasn't previously budgeted for, so that we're not talking about something that has already been awarded. This would be prospective, because the whole point of this is that we know through our budgeting process in this committee and through the Joint Committee and with Senate Finance Committee, there's additional money that are going to the districts, obviously in different amounts based on the per pupil funding formula. But what we want to do is to incentivize districts to use some of that money in order to provide raises, and then this would be a supplemental amount of money that could be awarded if they can demonstrate, here's the teachers, the support staff, the other folks who we have now budgeted raises for, and then we are able to through the IFC process to supplement that, just to provide that additional monies for those raises.
A quick follow-up, if I may. Not a question, just a comment. I really appreciate the fact that it is no longer the licensed personnel. And so thank you very much for adding in the, 7 through 10, because there's no way, as an educator, as you know I am, I can do that work without the other individuals. So I really appreciate the fact that those individuals are now part of it. Thank you.
And if I may just make a comment, Madam Chair, I'm Nicole Cannizzaro, Senate District 6. When this bill was initially introduced, and we've been working very closely, the Speaker and I, obviously, with you, Madam Chair Monroe Moreno, and then with Chair Dondero Loop on the Senate side, our intent was always to include staff. When the bill came out, there was a definition of paraprofessionals. We immediately worked to get an amendment because that was not the intent, to exclude certain portions of staff. We know how important they are and how much it is that, just like in this building, we cannot do our jobs without our amazing support that gets you to that place that you need to be to do your job. And so we had always intended to include them, and I believe even the initial, press quotes that we wanted to talk about this bill with mentioned support staff. We know how important they are.
Thank you. Members, any other questions? Assemblywoman Dickman.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Majority Leader. It's good to see you, except I wish the baby were here, but... And just a quick question, does this include charter teachers?
Thank you for the question, Assemblywoman, through you, Madam Chair, to Assemblywoman Dickman, Nicole Cannizzaro, Senate District 6. This bill does not include charter teachers. I know we've heard a lot about that, and frankly, I think we are really trying to get at a need that is very acute, in particular within our public schools, where they're facing significant vacancies and the inability to fill them, and teachers who are leaving the profession and retiring early and leaving even before that time, because we just have not invested enough in our teachers. And so this is really a step forward in that direction, so charters are not included.
Do charters not have as much of a problem with vacancies for teachers?
Thank you for the question, Assemblywoman, through you, Madam Chair, to Assemblywoman Dickman, Nicole Cannizzaro, Senate District 6. We are not seeing those same issues with our charter schools, and we know that that is an issue with our public schools. That's not to say that charter school teachers aren't important and that we don't care about them, but we are trying to zero in on a very specific need. And so what this bill addresses is just some additional monies, and also the ability to get some of our school districts to actually engage in investing in our teachers and support staff as well.
Thank you. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you. Members, any other questions? Assemblyman O'Neill.
Thank you, Chair. I've received emails, Senator. Some people are saying that this school district is excluded. Going through the bill, I don't see where you limit it to any of the 17 school districts. Am I wrong in that, or are some cut out?
Thank you for the question, Assemblyman. Through you, Madam Chair, to Assemblyman O'Neill, Nicole Canizaro, Senate District 6. There is nothing in the language of Senate Bill 231 that excludes any district. They would have to be able to provide some raises, and I think we've heard that there are some districts that are saying that they may not be able to do that, but this is intended to address all of the districts in this, all 17 school districts in the state. So there's no one that is excluded by the language of Senate Bill 231.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. And not seeing any other questions, I thank you so much for the presentation. And I'll invite you just to take a seat back, and we'll invite to the table anyone who's here to testify in support of Senate Bill 231. Good morning, and welcome to Ways.
Thank you, Chair. I'm Carrie Buck. I represent Senate District 5. I'm here in support of the bill. I do, though, feel that charter schools are public schools. If you ask LCB, charter schools receive all public school funding. So I feel that we are missing the second largest school district in the state. I supported the bill on the Senate side because I do agree with you, with the majority leader, that we absolutely need to fund our teachers more to increase the pipeline. However, public charter schools already do not receive funding for facilities, and this will put them at a disadvantage when they are public schools also. They're public schools much like a magnet school would be, in that they have a lottery and parents apply to that lottery much like they would a magnet school in a district. So I support the bill. I just hope that this committee would, and the majority leader would consider adding in an additional $32 million that's there. There is money available to support public charter school teachers and staff also. And, put the same guidelines in that they have to increase wages also. But to leave out the second largest school district of teachers and support staff in charter schools that are serving children and oftentimes taking the burden of enrollment off of overcrowded schools, district schools, they are public schools also. And these teachers and staff members that serve these kids deserve the right also. Thank you for hearing me today, Chair, and thank you to the committee.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. For the record, my name is Trevor Parrish, here with the Vegas Chamber in support of SB 231. We support the financial provisions of the bill and would appreciate your support as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is John Velardita. I represent the Clark County Education Association. We're here in support of SB 231, and I just want to say a few things as to why. I know there's been a lot of decisions made in this legislative session around the resources we have, and I know that there are other needs in the state that we have to allocate resources. So we are very appreciative of the majority leader and the speaker's efforts to try to address, a very significant problem. And I'm going to give you an example of how bad the problem is in Clark County. And this doesn't exist in the charter schools. Not to say that there isn't a compelling argument that was just made around that. Clark, at the start of the school year, hired 2,100 teachers. They have lost 69% of that number since the start of the school year, and the year isn't over. We have probably 30,000 kids that don't have a full-time teacher. Part of a problem is we got to be able to recruit, right? And in this sense, this will help. Part of the problem is we have to build capacity, and that's where a pipeline comes in, because no matter what kind of money you have, if you don't have educators, you can't fill it. But the other part, which is very important, and how this bill can help, is to stop the bleed. And that's the statistic that I just said, people that are leaving. this gives us an opportunity to clearly demonstrate to school districts that the legislature has said in a very prescriptive way, this money has to be used on salaries, all right, and has guardrails and trigger points in which it can be used. So for those reasons, we support this bill, and we would ask that the committee pass it out. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else here in Carson City that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 231? Not seeing any. Going to Las Vegas, is there any? If you'd like to testify in support, just come on up to the table. Okay. Going to Las Vegas, is there anyone in Las Vegas that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 231? I was going to say good morning, but it's afternoon. Good afternoon. Make sure you turn your mic on. Go ahead and press the button, turn your mic on, and state and spell your name for the record.
Thank you. My name is Beatrice Lesbron, and that's Beatriz, and Lesbron is Lespron. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to speak to you about something personal. My son attends a charter school. The decision to enroll my 17-year-old son in charter school was one of the best decisions we have ever made.
Can I just stop you
This
for a
decision-
moment? Can I stop you for a moment? Are you speaking in support of the bill? We're in
Absolutely,
support.
yes.
Okay, all right. Just
In
wanted to make
support.
sure.
Thank you. This decision not only altered his educational journey, but also shaped his character and instilled in him a newfound confidence that propelled him to reach for greater heights. His father and I made the decision to hold him back in third grade due to him being one of the youngest students in his class and grasping content at his true age capacity. This decision automatically placed him in the special education program. While this program provided valuable support, it inadvertently created a label that overshadowed his potential and limited his opportunities. It wasn't until mid-freshman year when he transferred to Matter Academy East High School, a charter school, that we witnessed a remarkable shift. From the moment he stepped into its halls, he was embraced by a nurturing and empowering environment that recognized his abilities and encouraged him to rise above his past struggles. The teachers and staff at the charter school saw beyond his previous challenges and saw the potential within him. The school recognized my son's progress and motivated him to exit the SPED program. This decision was pivotal, as it symbolized a newfound belief in his capabilities and opened doors to opportunities he had never imagined before. One of the most remarkable aspects of my son's experience at this charter school was that the encouragement to take academic risks, thanks to his hardworking teachers. With newfound confidence, my son remarked on a journey of academic excellence, taking 2 college courses during his junior year. This was a significant milestone as it not only expanded his knowledge, but also solidified his belief in his ability to excel. The changes my son experienced and the benefits he reaped are not isolated incidents, but rather indicative of the potential that the charter schools hold. Charter schools have the power to provide students with tailored education, enabling them to overcome challenges, exceed expectations, and discover their true potential. Therefore, I firmly believe that charter schools should be included in Bill 231. By supporting the inclusion of charter schools in our educational system, we ensure that all students, regardless of their past struggles or labels, have access to an environment that fosters growth, self-belief, and the opportunity to thrive. The success my son achieved is not an exception, but a testament to the transformative power of charter schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in Las Vegas that would like to provide testimony in support of the bill? And I'll remind you that testimony in support means you're supporting the bill as the bill is written, not with amendments to the bill. Seeing none, BPS, do we have anyone on the phone line that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 231?
If you would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 231, please press star 9 or raise hand in your Zoom window to take your place in the queue. There are no callers choosing to testify in support at this time.
Thank you so much. And we will move to opposition. Is there anyone here in Carson City that would like to provide testimony in opposition of Senate Bill 231? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. My name is Dawn Echeverry, and I'm the president of the Nevada State Education Association, speaking at the opposition table due to the amendment that we have offered. NSCA has amendment language to deliver a clean 20 for Nevada educators. With nearly $3 billion recommended for the reserve accounts, there is more than enough resources available to fund and sustain 20% educator raises and guarantee every education employee makes a livable wage. NSCA's amendment would increase the total appropriations in SB 231 from $250 million to $500 million. The amendment would delete the matching mechanism, allowing all districts to access the funds to increase pay equitably. Flexibility would be granted to districts to first increase starting pay for employees earning less than $20 an hour. Finally, monies would be appropriated to the State Education Fund to ensure their availability to continue to fund personnel into the future. As the educators in Nevada have been saying, it's time for 20.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Ways and Means Committee, for this opportunity to address you today. My name is Gia Marasini, and I am the principal of Matter Academy of Northern Nevada. I'm here today to voice my concerns with SB 231. As the principal of a public charter school in Reno, Nevada, I believe strongly that all public educators deserve a raise for all the hard work they have done over the last several years. Every day as a charter school principal, I have to make tough choices, serving 500 students and working to provide them with the very best educational experience possible. Those choices are made even more complicated by the fact that SB 231 would create a gap in teacher and support personnel pay across the public education system. Hiring teachers and support staff has indeed been an issue for charter schools. And I have had it be one of the hugest challenges I have faced in the years since the pandemic. I have seen wonderful teachers leave the profession, sometimes in the middle of the year. I work tirelessly to be able to pay my teachers a competitive salary so that I can attract teachers in the Washoe County area. I try to attract the very best possible teachers for my Matter students, and that is a challenge. By excluding public charter school educators and support staff from SB 231, the bill would create an unfair discrepancy in pay and recognition for the hard work that all public school educators and support personnel do to support students. Our Matter Academy of Northern Nevada students outperform students in our neighboring schools, and that is because of the dedication and support of our teachers and support staff. Allowing a raise to all public school educators and support personnel, including those at a public charter school, would send a powerful message of support and appreciation for the tireless work that my staff does every day to prepare the next generation for success. It's time to recognize the dedication and hard work of all public school educators and support personnel, regardless of whether they work in a traditional public school or a public charter school. Additionally, my students are students in a public school setting. By amending this bill, a clear message is going to be sent to all students enrolled in public charter schools that they matter just as much as students in a public school. It is time to recognize the dedication and hard work of all public school educators and support personnel, regardless of whether they work in a traditional public school or a public charter school. I urge you to amend SB 231 to include a raise for public school educators and support personnel serving in a public charter school. Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Good morning, Jenny Hunt, Mariposa Language and Learning Academy in Reno. I've seen many of you this session. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I've loved being here, and I want to thank you so much for all the work that you've been doing. I also am in opposition of this bill as it's currently written. We can all talk about the teacher shortage here in the state of Nevada. It's not different in the charter world. We also, like larger districts, are looking for ways to recruit and retain teaching staff. What I can tell you is, as teachers in the world, when we meet each other, we don't say, oh, what kind of a teacher are you? Are you a traditional teacher? Are you a charter teacher? No, we're all teachers doing the work for students. And what I can say is that Valuing our profession doesn't come in the form of money. It really would come in the value in the form of valuing every teacher across the state of Nevada that's a public school teacher. Public charter schools serve public children, and you should use those public dollars equitably. Likewise, we all saw ESSER dollars and other funding sources come in the last couple of years. I would also challenge you to know that some of those dollars did not come through dollar for dollar to charter schools. So sometimes there was an inequity or a discrepancy in the amount of dollars that we have had to be able to maintain, recruit, give stipends, and support our teachers comparably to our larger districts around us. I want to say, many of you met some students a few weeks ago from Mariposa. And I want you to remember their faces and know that they are accessing an amazing education at Mariposa because their teachers and their staff is working tirelessly. And I ask you, please, make sure that you recognize these are our students and the future of Nevada. They're not Democrat versus Republican. They're not union versus non-union, North versus South. They are public school students served by public school teachers, and those public dollars should include them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is Debbie Prisby, and I have had the privilege of working at Pinecrest Charter Schools for the last 7 years. I am currently working on the staff at Pinecrest of Northern Nevada as a support personnel. I am here today to urge you to reconsider SB 231 as written. SB 231 currently excludes Nevada public charter schools from additional pay increase funding and creates an inequitable distribution of salary funding, placing Nevada public charter schools at a disadvantage and devaluing the work that myself and my colleagues do every day. I have served Nevada students in the Pinecrest system in both Las Vegas and Sparks and witnessed firsthand every day the tremendous value that our teachers provide. I encourage you to advocate for our teachers and staff by amending SB 231 to include teacher and staff salary funding for Nevada public charter schools. Supporting the inclusion of charter schools in SB 231 is paramount to continuing to provide students with high-quality teachers and staff and demonstrates equity in the value of all Nevada public educators. Thank you for your attention to this important matter.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, everyone here. For the record, my name is Amy Gonzalez, and I work at Matter Academy of Northern Nevada, a state-sponsored public charter school. I'm here today to ask that SB 231 be amended to add all public school educators and support personnel. While admirable and needed, this bill does not include all public educators and support personnel. As you've heard, state-sponsored charter schools are currently excluded from this bill. Charter schools and all schools are struggling in Nevada to hire and keep teachers because Nevada has historically not funded education sufficiently. As of this time, state public charter schools are held to even higher standards than county school districts in that when we don't show that our students are meeting proficiency and growth, our schools are shut down. District schools are taken over by the state and then given more money to perform exactly the same year after year. Charters in the state are given less money to do more already. This bill must be amended to reflect all Nevada educators and support personnel. We are all educating Nevada students. We should all be considered for this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, committee members. My name is Eric Perez, and I'm the principal at High Desert Montessori Charter School in Reno, Nevada. We're a self-managed public Montessori school that serves the community as a choice to families in pre-K through 8th grade. Our students go to high school with extraordinary skills in critical thinking, collaboration, and problem solving. Many of our students come to us from underserved communities of color and qualify for free and reduced lunch. We do not receive equal funding in comparison to district schools in many areas. For example, we spend roughly 25% of our per pupil funds on our facilities costs. We pay mortgages and we pay rents, and we don't get paid for those like the district does. We strive to pay our highly trained, certified, highly qualified staff on par with district scales. Roughly 90% of our budget is spent on payroll. We're in the same position as the districts in that we have the same difficulties in recruiting teachers as the district, and this puts us in direct competition with the district with far less funding. I'm disappointed and surprised that our charter teachers and staff are left out of this bill. Not being included tells our teachers who are state licensed, certified, highly qualified, and Montessori trained, which means they go to years of training beyond what normal teachers get, we're telling them that they are worth less than district teachers. This is going to result in a loss of teachers, inconsistency for our amazing students, and will diminish our ability to complete our mission to provide a high-quality Montessori education to our community. Recruiting highly qualified teachers will be even more difficult if we are excluded from these funds. Please consider including charter schools in this bill to make sure all teachers, students, are equally funded. It is difficult to oppose this bill because I agree with everything in it, but for the reasons I just mentioned, I have to be opposed to this bill as written. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, and thank you for your time. I am a teacher at a charter school, and I would be very interested to see the statistics that prove there's not vacancies that we're facing, as well as other county district schools.
Can I get your name for the record?
December Watts. So I am here to discuss concerns that I have with SB 231. The bill as written does not include inclusive language in regards to the state-funded public charter authority schools. State-funded charter authority schools employ qualified educators and teachers that deserve equitable pay. As a school of choice, we educate public students in Nevada, and we provide quality education. The school that I currently teach at has demonstrated a 95% reading proficiency in kindergarten, and that is unheard of. These students deserve educators who are equitably compensated. These students deserve the same advantages as county district schools. I am asking that you include language into the bill that does this so that these students and the next generation of Nevadans can continue quality education from qualified teachers. Charter schools are already at a disadvantage as we do not receive separate funding for facilities or transportation. Amending the verbiage to be inclusive to all teachers teaching Nevada public schools and students would send a powerful message of appreciation to the tireless work that our teachers do and that all Nevada public students deserve. Equitable, quality educators being compensated equally. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. Sarah Adler here today on behalf of some independent Washoe charter schools that I have had the honor to represent. And you're a committee about economics. And I just want to share with you that when you put this at a per pupil level, the way the bill is written now, is $311 per pupil that district schools will have access to. If you chose to include charters, public charters, in the same $250 million, that only changes by $46 per pupil for district schools. They would have access to $265 per pupil, and so would charter schools. And when you look at the economy of scale, that $265 is a much larger piece of the pie for public charter schools. As you have just heard about how they're creating opportunity for all students in Nevada, and they provide good fit for families. So we really appreciate your consideration of bringing in public charters. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Go ahead.
For the record, my name is Hank Brown, and I am a member of Carson Montessori Charter School's Student Legislative Team. I am here today to ask for an amendment. Through this entire legislative session, our team has advocated for the voice of the student to be heard, because we know what we need is directly linked to what we have in the classroom. Numbers and statistics on an Excel spreadsheet do not reflect what is really happening in the classroom. At Carson Montessori, our staff, students, and families are valued and respected. We have a 48-hour launch where if a proposal which can be brought by students, staff, or families is doable, workable, and feasible, it is launched and implemented in 48 hours. If there is not money in our budget, Many times those proposals are paid for personally by our administration. Lately, in this session, we have had to advocate that the voice of the teacher is also heard. NRSs require that educators treat students with equity, and yet by not including charter schools in SB 231, you are not only treating our teachers with equity by denying them a raise, you are showing to all of us that students that we are less than. Please amend SB 231 and include charters and show our educators and us that we are valued. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you so much for coming. We always love to see young people who will one day sit in these seats join us, so thank you so much. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Alyssa Gardner. I am a 15-year teacher. I've taught at a charter school for 9 years. I teach at Pinecrest Academy of Northern Nevada, and I would like you to amend SB 231 to include charter schools. Excluding charter schools will hurt and damage our education system further instead of helping it. Why are students at public charter schools being treated as less than or unequal to students at our district schools? Why are teachers that work at districts being preferred and valued over teachers with the same qualifications and sacrifice who work at a public charter school? Use public dollars equitably.
Thank you.
My name is Tatum Gardner. I go to Pinecrest Academy of Northern Nevada. My charter school teachers deserve the same raise as the district public schools.
Thank you. Awesome job. Is there anyone else here in Carson City that would like to provide testimony in opposition of Senate Bill 231? Not seeing any. Is there anyone in Las Vegas that would like to provide testimony in opposition of Senate Bill 231? Not seeing. Well, there's someone walking towards the table. Good afternoon. Go ahead and state. and
Hi,
spell
my
your
name is Marilyn Barajas. Hi, my name is Marilyn Barajas. I would like to discuss the inclusion of charter school teachers in Bill SB 231. As an educator myself, I understand the immense dedication and effort required to ensure quality education for our students. Charter school teachers, much like their counterparts in traditional public schools, work tirelessly in providing nurturing and effective learning environment for our students. We invest countless hours in lesson planning, curriculum development, and individualized instruction, and with the aim of promoting academic excellence and personal growth. Our commitment to education and our students is no less significant than public school teachers, and is why we should be included in this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else there in Las Vegas that would like to testify in opposition? I'll encourage you all to fill all 3 chairs. Thank you. And remember to turn your mic on and state and spell your name for the record.
Hi, Renee Fairless for the record. And just so you know, we have a room full of people here that are anxious to speak in
Okay.
opposition.
Just 2 minutes
SBT.
apiece. That's fine. Each person can have 2 minutes.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
So with me, again, Renee Fairless, for the record, lead principal for Matter Academy of Nevada. I brought with me one of my students, Christian Coran. I don't know if he's going to be bold enough to speak with us today, but certainly he is an advocate for charter school teachers. I just wanted to talk about equity, just plain and simple. I've already heard it mentioned several times. I worked for the district for 27 years. I know that the charter school teachers deserve the very same. And I think the most important thing that we can say is that teachers in the state of Nevada are valued and highly valued, and that it should matter about their choice of where they choose to teach. We want to keep them in our state, and the loudest way that we keep them in the state is to treat them fairly and not to pit one district against another district. Charter schools are one of the highest performing districts in the state of Nevada, and we want to show that we value that. So again, as a lifelong educator, I think it's about 39 years. I try not to mention that because I obviously started at about the age of 10. But what I want you to keep in mind is just simply that no matter where I've worked, I know the value of an educator speaks volumes, and that's the message that we need to send with this bill. Most of us in this room think this is an amazing bill and want to support this bill. We just need it to be amended to make sure that it represents all teachers in the state of Nevada, not a select few. Thank you.
Thank you. Next person.
Hi, my name is Hillary Moskowitz, HILARY for the record. Good afternoon. I was a school teacher in CCSD for 12 years. I am also a product of CCSD. I love teaching and I love students. I've always taught in Title I schools with students others would label challenging. I don't find them challenging. To me, they're just my kids. The district is a hard place to work. Conflicting directives, lack of control over what and who you teach, terrible health insurance, underappreciation of teachers and staff by those in charge, vindictive administrators that are allowed to do whatever they want to teachers with no repercussions. The list goes on and on. Luckily, I had a choice of where I could work, so I left. I came to Matter Academy East, a Title I charter literally a few blocks away from where I used to teach, teaching the same students. Nevada supports student choice. How about teacher choice? I want to teach in a supportive family like I have found at Matter. They take care of us, and we have a voice in shaping our school's destiny. If we are all public school teachers that pay into PERS, why are we excluded from these raises? If teachers have no choice, I fear many of us at charters will leave Nevada rather than return to a district that has failed us. Please amend SB 231 to support teachers and staff that are included in charter schools. We matter too. Thank you.
Thank you. Next person, go ahead.
Good afternoon. My name is Cassandra Brownell. I am also a teacher at Matter Academy. I am at the Mountain Vista campus here in Las Vegas. I am a New York educated teacher. I moved to Las Vegas for the dire need of teachers. I just finished my 10th year teaching, and I moved from the district after my first year of teaching, and I work in a neighborhood similar to where I worked in the district. I don't want to oppose this bill. Just like you've heard every teacher say, we all support every administrator. We are a family here, and we support all teachers work so hard. And I don't mean to compare because all teachers deserve a livable wage, but we work just as hard to provide a community for our school. We provide every month the different events for our families to come, and it is evident as you walk into our building and all Matter Academies and all charter schools that we are a family, and we have worked hard to create that, and we deserve to have a livable wage for our families back at home. We worked hard for a 5-star middle school in a low-income area. We have the same growth targets. We use our data to drive that star rating. And we are a family. Our motto at Matter Academy is that you matter at Matter. So please revise the bill to show our charter teachers that we matter too. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Alexis Rocha. I go by Alex, and that's fine. I'm a charter school teacher at Matter East Academy, and I'm speaking in opposition to SB 231. And I strongly advocate for equal support and in pay raises alongside our counterparts in traditional public schools. I witnessed firsthand the immense dedication and passion that my fellow charter school teachers bring to the classroom every day. We work tirelessly to provide innovative and high-quality education options, just like teachers in the district. We invest countless hours earning degrees and licenses just as the same as teachers in the district. And we face similar challenges in adapting to evolving educational standards and creating a positive learning environment. I speak of all of this in terms of equity for charter school teachers, and supporting charter school teachers benefits not only us, but also the community of students we serve and strengthens our education system as a whole. Thank you for your time, and amend the bill.
Thank you so much. Go ahead. Is there anyone else there in Las Vegas? Again, I'll encourage you, if you wish to testify, to come up and fill all the seats.
Okay, hello. My name is Talia Rush, and I'm speaking against the SB 321 to be amended because my mother is a teacher in our public charter schools, and I have attended public charter schools for most of my education in Nevada. I attended Innovations International Charter School for kindergarten through 4th grade, and then I attended Matter Academy Mountain Vista for my 5th grade to 8th grade, so for most of my middle school education. Through my elementary and middle school education, I've experienced this amazing education through both of these schools, and they have both set me up for my high school career, where I exceeded and ultimately received a full ride scholarship for college. Without that foundation in my charter school education, I'm not sure I would have been able to succeed in the rigorous magnet high school that I attended in Clark County School District. Overall, I think it is important to include our charter school teachers because they are the reason for my success today. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Brooklyn Thomas, and I am currently an upcoming senior at Matter Academy. And I have been going to the school for since 3rd grade. And since being at the school, I feel like that they have offered me so many different opportunities that I feel other schools could have not. Even though this is a new high school, many of my teachers have often strived for my success. They have always been caring, and most teachers just want their students just to get by and just to be out of their face, get out of their classes. But these teachers here have really given me the opportunity to succeed. They have set me up for dual credit classes for me to obtain my college credit to get my AA when I do graduate next year. They have given me so many different new outlooks on what I want to do when I leave high school. They have been able to set me up for success through many different ways. And I really do appreciate it because if I do believe if I went to any other school that they would not have cared about my education as much as my charter school teachers do. And I am very appreciative that I have been able to be at the school with my wonderful principal, Ms. Fairless, because she isn't like any other principal. She is a principal that really cares about her teachers and her students. And I just believe that this school and this charter school and all charter schools are really doing their best to provide for students all around. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Can you hear me? My name is Shine Thomas, and I attended Matter Academy since 5th grade when I moved here from California, and all the way up until 8th grade until I moved to a Southwest Career and Technical School. There at SWCTA, it was a very rigorous course load, and it was very hard to follow the students that worked hard and dedicated their lives to education. And I feel that without Matter Academy and the teachers there and the wonderful principal, Ms. Fearless, I would not have been able to apply myself to the technical abilities that the other students there had unless I was given the ability to do so at Matter Academy. I think it's important to cater to our teachers as well as the representatives there because if we don't feed into our teachers and their abilities to push the children to their greatest ability, we will not have children that were able to do great things and wonderful things at SWCTA like I did. I think it was important to bring to light that charter schools give children the opportunity to have a different outlook on schools rather than public schools do, and give them the opportunity to feed into themselves and have their greatest ability brought to light to represent these charter schools, and the teachers that were allowed to give them this ability to find within the classroom. And if we don't feed into the teachers the way that they deserve, then I don't think they'll be able to cater to the students that they should be catered to.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Hello, Olivia Carbajal. I am principal at Matter Academy Mountain Vista, for the record. Ultimately, we've heard a reoccurring theme here where what is most important is the success of our students. We have plenty of teachers and staff members that work their heart out and want what is best for the students of Nevada. It is only fair that our students are able to reap the benefits of their teachers being paid equitably. We have so many other categories currently where our schools are underfunded. With facilities funding, not receiving facilities funding, that affects the capabilities of what we are trying to do here for our students. And so I ask that you reconsider this bill and amend it so that charter school teachers are included in the funding here. Thank you.
Thank you. Not seeing anyone else at the table in Las Vegas, BPS, we will go to the phone lines. Do we have anyone on the phone that would like to testify in opposition of Senate Bill 231?
If you would like to testify in opposition to Senate Bill 231, please press star 9 or raise hand in your Zoom window to take your place in the queue. Caller with the last 3 digits, 805. You are unmuted and may begin.
Good afternoon. My name is Ben Salco. I'm the principal for Equipo Academy in East Las Vegas. I want to start by saying that I agree with Senator Canizaro that our public school teachers badly deserve raises, and we're excited that this legislature is having this discussion. I just can't support the legislation as it is right now until it is amended to include all public school staff and educators. For us in Southern Nevada, the text of this legislation now only provides raises to certain employees working in CCSD schools. This means public school teachers and support staff working in Title I public schools like Equipo Academy, Futuro Academy, Nevada Prep, Matter Academy, Democracy Prep, Rise Academy, and short a list of the public schools in East and West Las Vegas that serve the highest numbers of students receiving free and reduced price lunch, with the highest graduation rates and college acceptance rates. These public school teachers and support staff would be excluded. And as Senator Buck explained, a public charter school is a public school. Our enrollments and finances are publicly audited each year. Our students take every state assessment and fulfill every state requirement. Our teachers are state licensed professionals. The difference in a public charter school is that local educators and community members like my team run the decision making instead of large district administrators. I was a CCSD classroom educator for 8 years before I left. I'm the type of educator Senator Canizaro is referring to. I chose to leave the school district, but I stayed here in Nevada, and I worked with a team of teachers who did the same to open our own public charter school. My decision to leave was not about money, but if that's the conversation we're having about why charter schools are perceived to have better staffing, then we should be discussing expanding charter schools, not punishing the teachers who work in them. I appreciate the questions about public charter schools, and I want to be clear, it's challenging to recruit and train staff everywhere. So like the other administrators who have spoken, I work year-round to recruit, train, and develop great educators, and everywhere possible, I recruit from outside the state or encourage young people to start careers in education so that we aren't taking teachers from the neighboring schools around us. I want our public school teachers, all of them, to be valued and to get this raise. They deserve it. They worked incredibly hard through 3 challenging years, and I hope that this legislation will be amended to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller.
Caller with the last 3 digits, 184. Please press star 6 to unmute your phone.
Hello,
You
my
may
name
begin.
is Trevor Harder, TrevorHarder, and I am a Matter Academy teacher. I am testifying today to express my concern about SB 231, which proposes educator salary increases for public school teachers and support personnel, but overlooks those serving public charter schools. As a constituent and a supporter of public education, I strongly believe that every public school educator deserves fair recognition and reward for their hard work, irrespective of their workplace. Charter school educators face unique challenges while serving over 67,000 students
to provide quality education. The proposed bill creates a pay gap in the public education system. We acknowledge that public charter schools may not have equal access to funding for supplies and facilities as traditional public schools. However, these schools have achieved remarkable academic results despite their limitations. Excluding public charter school educators and support personnel from the benefits of SB 231 would lead to unfair disparity in pay and diminish the value of their hard work in imparting education. Therefore, I urge you to amend SB 231 to include public school educators and support personnel from public charter schools as well. Recognizing the dedication and hard work of all public school educators, whether they serve in traditional public schools or public charter schools, is crucial to fostering a supportive work environment. Thank you for considering my request.
Thank you so much. Next caller.
Hello. Hello.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Wonderful. Thank you. I apologize. My name is Sandra Kinney, Kinne for the record, and I'm the Executive Director for Sage Collegiate in Las Vegas. I wanted to speak on Senate Bill 231. First, I have been a public educator since I came into the profession via Teach for America. I came into the profession and have only ever worked in Title I schools and have stayed in education out of a sense of mission-driven work and contributing to the greater good for all. I spent more than a dozen years in classrooms, both in a traditional district and in a public charter school. I've been an administrator in both a traditional district school and now in a public charter. I've also coached teachers in both traditional district schools and charter schools. There is no difference in the amount of work we do, the intensity of the work we do, or the importance of the work we do between charters and district schools. There simply is not. The work is equally demanding, equally exhausting, and equally important, whether you're in a 50-year-old district school or a second-year charter school. At the school for which I am in the ED, more than 65% of our students qualify for free reduced lunch. 12% of our students qualify for special education, which is on par with all of the schools within our zip code. And nearly 10% of them are ELL identified. We have an extended day. Our team works 9 hours daily to provide more instructional time and bridge the achievement and opportunity gaps that have existed in our community for far too long and which were exacerbated by the global pandemic. Our teachers are public employees. Our school is a public school. The intentional exclusion of charter school teachers from this bill is harmful to all educators, creates a separate and unequal ideology within the work, and is simply wrong. Second, our school pays into the PERS system, the Public Employees Retirement System. I fail to understand how our teachers and staff are considered public employees for our retirement system in this state, but not for our actively employed system in this state. If charter school employees are public employees for purposes of fund into which they and schools pay, it is perplexing why we wouldn't be public employees for purposes of also receiving additional public dollars. It saddens me to be in opposition because it excludes a significant number of public school teachers. We educators are a devalued bunch, and we all deserve more fair and equitable pay for our work. I encourage all members of this committee to reconsider the language of this bill and for all members of this legislative body to support the inclusion of charter school teachers in this proposal. We are public educators after all. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller.
Hello, my name is Rana Saltiver, and I'm a public charter school teacher at Mariposa Language and Learning Academy in Reno. I'm in opposition to Senate Bill 231 as it is written because it does not include public school teachers at charter schools. This bill, as currently written, is divisive for public school teachers and tells families of about 60,000 students in charter schools that their children and teachers are less than. If we want to improve the quality of teachers and the education system in Nevada, please invest in all public school teachers and value the profession as a whole, which will improve the culture and working conditions for teachers. SB 231 must include public charter school teachers. These are public dollars for public school teachers teaching public school children. So please don't leave us out on this decision, and please amend the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller.
Good afternoon, Chair and committee members. My name is Dr. Bridget Fernapel, and I am in opposition of SB 231 as it is currently written. I won't reiterate what others have testified into already today. However, will provide my personal and professional experience related to state-funded public charter schools based on my nearly 20-year career in the educational setting. Personally, my two children, ages 6 and 9, both attend Pinecrest Academy of Northern Nevada, a state-funded public charter school in Spanish Springs. My husband and I selected this school based on our knowledge of its efficacy, and we're lucky enough to have our oldest son lotteried in. In this environment, my 9-year-old, who I will note struggles with a language disability and did not excel in his previous educational settings, is now flourishing. My 6-year-old son just placed in the 99th percentile on his gate testing. Clearly, the educational setting my children are exposed to and participating in is successful, and the educational and support staff deserve recognition for their highly effective efforts. Professionally, I serve Pinecrest Academy of Northern Nevada as the Director of Student Life. In this role, I'm supporting nearly 1,000 students and their families, along with 100 staff members in the areas of behavior, wellness, mental health, and social emotional support. The team of educators and experts that I work directly with are nothing short of amazing and effective, and our data demonstrates this. With the evidence-based curriculum we use to support our students, grades K through 8, we have over a 75% response rate to our interventions. Our school behavioral referrals have decreased significantly since the implementation of our programming. The team I oversee has also pursued specific and intensive training in the implementation and delivery of our interventions and are very highly qualified and should be acknowledged for their efficacy. This is programming that we have designed and implemented and is of a caliber I have not witnessed in any previous time in my career. I would also encourage you to evaluate our school's academic growth data in comparison to other nearby public schools. The academic growth this year, as measured by our standardized assessments, demonstrates the effectiveness of our educators and support staff. It is also of a caliber that I have not witnessed throughout the course of my career. To exclude the second largest school district in the state, charter schools, is a disservice to your constituents working in and the pupils being served in these settings. I encourage you to reconsider SB 231 as written and amend the language to include charter schools. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next caller.
Thank you, Chair and Committee. I am Andrea Morency, Morency for the record, a small independent charter school founder, principal, and parent. I'm here today to express my concerns about SB 231 as it is currently written, with the exclusion of public educators teaching at public charter schools in Nevada. The public educators who teach at my school have made the same commitment as all public educators to provide a free and appropriate education to any child in Nevada who walks through the door and should be recognized with salary increases as all public educators in Nevada should. There is no justifiable reason to exclude Nevada charter school teachers in this bill. Thank you for considering the best interests of all children attending Nevada public schools, including public charter schools, by providing all public educators in Nevada a fair and livable wage. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Next caller.
Caller with the last 3 digits, 811. You are unmuted and may begin. Caller with the last 3 digits, 811. You are unmuted on our end. Can you please unmute your phone?
Hi. I am Bethany Farmer, Farmer for the record, and I'm here to voice concerns on SB 231. As a Nevada educator for over 25 years and a mom of 3 students who have been in public schools in Nevada, why would we be putting a separation or just valuing public educators based on what school they work at? As we all know, these educators are slowly leaving the profession and are the individuals who shape all of our professions for the state of Nevada. For 15 years, I worked for Clark County School District, and 2 of my children attended those Clark County School District schools. As I wanted to continue to grow as an educator, I moved into an administrative role in a public charter school system. With this movement, my youngest child now attends a public charter. And why would her education within a public setting be any different supporting my older two in Clark County School District? My passion for education has never changed. It was about the climate and culture and doing what's best for the students that I could impact and we could impact. I'm currently an administrator, and all of my staff are licensed or sub-licensed staff and are working on their licensure in their field. My staff work continuously on growth, professional development to collaborate and plan for the success of all students. We track data to ensure all of our students grow. We have a relationship with UNLV and support, mentor, and train pre-service teachers, anywhere from 10 to 15 in the last 3 school years, with the hopes that they will continue to grow in a profession and shape the future of our children. I believe that all educators, public educators, deserve a raise for all their hard work and passion for educating our future leaders. It's heartbreaking to know that all of my staff and I still follow all Nevada Department of Education expectations and are considered public educators and are being penalized for the choices that we make of the schools that we make in the best situation for us. We should be working together and collaborating together across our state on best practices, strategies, and supporting each other, not creating a divide and causing negativity in a public profession that is so passionate about what we do. Isn't public education about all students in Nevada, not segregating or discriminating on what school they attend? I serve over 1,000 students and around 80 staff who are all in their heart considered family. Please support their futures and their passions too.
Thank you. Next caller.
Caller with the last 3 digits, 902. Would you please press *6 to unmute your phone? Caller with the last 3 digits, 902. Please press *6 to unmute your phone. Chair, we're having some difficulty getting this caller to connect. Would you like me to move forward?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, we can hear you.
Hi, thank you, members of the committee. I'm calling in opposition of SB 231. My name is Terry Strickland, and I'm a parent at Honors Academy of Literature, a small independent public school in downtown Reno. Our school might be small, but we are mighty. Our teachers are amazing, and like so many others, have made such an impact in our children's lives. Words cannot express the sadness and disappointment that this bill has intentionally excluded our teachers. All teachers need a raise. I hope you will include them. Amend SB 231 as they are all deserving as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller.
Caller with the last 3 digits, 655. Please press *6 to unmute your phone. Caller with the last 3 digits, 655. Please press *6 to unmute your phone. Chair, looks like we are having difficulties with this caller connecting. Would you like me to move forward?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and Assembly Committee on Ways and Means members. Thank you for your time today. My name is Dr. Nicolette Smith, and I'm the Assistant Principal of Doral Academy of Northern Nevada and the parent of 2 charter school graduates. It breaks my heart to say that I'm speaking in opposition for SB 231, something I have worked towards for many years as an educator. but I must oppose SB 231 in the way that it is written. It is funded for public schools, but is excluding raises for teachers for more than 67,000 Nevada public school students, licensed teachers and support staff by not including public charter schools in the funding. Public charter schools already receive less funding as we do not get facilities funding, class size reduction funding, or social work grants. Our teachers are all state licensed and certified in the same way that traditional public school teachers are. Our public school charter teachers marched alongside other Nevada teachers to fight for this funding. Our teachers deserve to receive the same funding as all other public school teachers. The funding that we fought for was for public schools. Never in a million years did we consider that public charter schools would not receive the same funding. All our students are public school students. Our powerful statements that have been made by all of my colleagues and friends today, and all public school teachers in Nevada deserve equitable opportunities to receive these raises. I humbly ask that the committee consider the equity issue before them and to amend SB 231 to include public charter schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller.
Caller with the last three numbers, 655, please press *6 to unmute your phone. Caller, please press *6 to unmute your phone. Chair, we're having technical difficulties with this caller. Would you like me to move forward?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Madam Chair and Committee, Jason Sturtzman, STURTSMAN, Las Vegas Charter School employee at Matter East. I've worked in education in Nevada for 21 years and appreciate the hard work of the legislative body. I'm reaching out to express my concern about SB 231, how it currently is, which proposes education salary increases for public school teachers, but overlooks those serving at public charter schools open to all Nevada children. Las Vegas public charter schools have the same issues regarding vacancies, just like CCSD schools. I believe that every public school educator deserves recognition for their hard work. Charter schools educate over 67,000 students, providing free, high-quality education. Public charter schools may not have equal access to funding for supplies and facilities or transportation like traditional public schools. However, charter schools have achieved incredible academic results despite their limitations set by Nevada. Excluding public charter school educators and support personnel from the benefits of SB 231 would lead to an unfair disparity in pay and diminish the value of their hard work. Public charter schools work. Therefore, I urge you to amend SB 231 to include public school educators and support personnel from public charter schools as well. Governor Lombardo, a charter school advocate, should veto this bill if it doesn't include charter schools. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Next caller.
Caller with the last three digits, 523, please press *6 to unmute your phone. Caller with the last three numbers, 523, please press *6 to unmute your phone. Chair,
yes.
Caller, you are unmuted and may begin.
Hi, my name is, for the record, Madam Chair and members of the committee, my name is Ben Contine. I'm with the Honors Academy of Literature, as was previously testified, we are a small family charter school in downtown Reno, founded by two Reno moms, one of which is about to graduate her first child. I want to just say for the record that I and many of my colleagues have the utmost respect for the majority leader and appreciate her bringing a bill like this forward. I wanted to clarify a couple of things. There was testimony that charters like ours do not have the same issues recruiting teachers. That's simply just false. That's not true. We have any number of, in some cases, more significant challenges recruiting teachers. But the truth is, everyone in education right now has challenges recruiting teachers. I also want to just mention that I previously worked as a special education teacher. I served as a special education teacher at Las Vegas High School and also at Carson High School. And if anybody proposed a bill that gave me a raise and excluded the teachers that I worked with at Las Vegas High School or Carson High School, I would be the first person here to testify against that. Everyone here that you've heard testimony from is a public educator, or they have students in a public school. When legislators refer to our public schools but are not including charters, that's hurtful to our families, and it's hurtful to our staff. We absolutely believe that all teachers in Nevada should get a raise, not just to be good, but also because it's necessary to maintain the staffing that is necessary. We believe that schools like ours, small independent charters founded by local people, should exist, and we cannot if we are excluded from funding like this. I also want to mention, just for the record, that charters do have specific concerns, which are that facilities costs, utilities costs, all of those have increased significantly. That scales up for a small school like ours with a little over 200 students. We simply want to sit here in unity with teachers across the state of Nevada who I want to just honor anybody who walks into a classroom and is about to finish a school year. I honor you and I respect you, and I believe every single one should get more money, and I ask you to amend the bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. For the record, my name is Will Batista, and I'm speaking against SB 231 in its current unamended form. I'm the father of a former charter school teacher and current support employee, and the parent of a charter school student. I also serve as the board chair at a different charter, Quest Academy, located in North Las Vegas. Our school serves a nearly 100% FRL student population and a majority minority school community of just under 500. In just a few years, our board has been reorganized. Our school leadership, faculty, and support staff have worked tirelessly to achieve higher performance scores and financial stability. The state asks our schools to follow state directives, pay into the PERS program at a higher rate now than ever before, and yet this bill, as currently written, treats our teachers and other staff as second-class citizens. It seems our teachers are good enough for the state to take their hard-earned money to fund the retirement of public educators, but not to be considered for this public school funding. Many anti-charter advocates often attack charter schools for taking resources away from traditional district schools, and yet the vast majority of these charter schools are already provided less, subpar, or no resources at all, like transportation, supplies, or underfunding of those with special needs students. The exclusion of charter schools from this bill gives the appearance that the legislature is doing the bidding of anti-charter organizations in one of the most vindictive ways they can, their pocketbooks. With inflation at historical highs, this would be a slap in the face of the teachers, staff, and families who choose public charters. Our school provides a valuable option to many families who may not be best served through traditional district schools. Many of the members of this committee represent students, parents, and teachers employed by charter schools throughout the state who voted for them because they thought you would be the best to represent them there. I'm quite frankly shocked that this bill will continue to be considered in its current form, and that's why I'm urging you to amend SB 231 to include charter schools as part of those pay raises. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller.
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the committee. My name is Matthew Wilkie, Wilkie for the record. I wasn't going to testify on this bill at all, and I personally have my own differing views on charter schools as a whole that differ from the people currently giving testimony. However, I'm trying to look at this from a different angle. Just now learning myself that these educators pay into PERS. I fully believe that they deserve any pay increase that will be implemented with PERS going forward. That's the way I look at it. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Next caller, please.
Caller with the last three digits, 224. Please press star 6 to unmute your phone. You may begin.
Good afternoon. For the record, my name is John Hanel, Haynal, and I was the newly appointed executive director of Nevada Charter School, Nevada Preparatory Charter School. I didn't feel prepared today to come on board because I'm standing in the gymnasium trying to work out. But I find that the biggest issue, and everything's been covered. I don't think there's anything I can say that doesn't echo what I believe. But here's the one thing I do believe. Students deserve more. And I came out of retirement to work with kids in a lower socioeconomic environment because I thought for once the legislature and the governor were in sync with reducing the inequities that exist in our state. I am now concerned that the inequities between low socioeconomic families and other schools is going to be wider and wider. I'm asking you to reconsider the way it's worded. I'm not in favor of it. And I will tell you without reservation, I'm here to stay and I enjoy what I'm doing. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Amy Barbine, and I'm assistant principal at Pinecrest Academy. I can't really say anything more than mimic what you've heard from so many people. I hope that truly the amount of people who have come out to speak in such short notice on this bill and speak in opposition to SB 231 as it is currently written, which is excluding public charter school teachers from receiving the equitable raises that you're offering to district employees. By not including charter in this bill, you are truly sending a message that charters are less valued, less important than others. I strongly encourage you to amend the bill to include the language that includes public charter school employees as well as other public educators. Obviously, you value the importance of giving teachers raises and you see the importance in educators. We, as educators, truly are the foundation of all other professions in the world, and we are what we can do to change the world. So I strongly encourage you to consider amending the language. Thank you.
Callers, if you've recently joined and would like to testify in opposition to Senate Bill 231, please press star 9 or raise hand in your Zoom window to take your place in the queue.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
We can. Go ahead and state your name for the
Hello?
record.
Hi, thank you. My name is Ricky Rodriguez Elkins, and I'm one of the original moms
who fought for charter schools in 1995 and 1997 when it was finally passed. I currently serve on the board of Coral Academy of Science. I'm opposed to SB 231. I'm disappointed to see that once again charter schools are eliminated from funding sources that could help them be able to afford their teachers and their staff higher salaries. As has already been expressed, charter schools have a tremendous amount of financial load that they have to distribute using the paltry funds that they currently get. And to be able to pay their teachers equitably, they really need for this bill to be amended. SB 231 authorizes disparate treatment to public charter school teachers by providing higher pay to traditional public school teachers than the public charter school teachers who perform the same job with the same responsibilities. Charter school teachers guide, train, discipline, instruct, and shape young minds in their classrooms, and they love their careers in education just as traditional public school teachers do. They deserve the same respect. This bill is intentionally discriminatory. I urge you to vote no as it's written and to amend the bill to include charter school teachers and staff. And thank you for your service to our state.
Next caller, please.
Hi. My name is Carrie Howard. I am currently a teacher in the Washoe County School District, as well as a member of the Washoe Education Association, in addition to being a board member for the Mariposa Academy Charter School in Reno, Nevada. I am calling to testify against SB 231 the way it is currently written. I echo everyone else's sentiment that it should be amended to include charter schools. As a board member for the charter school, I get to witness firsthand the quality instruction they provide to their students, and to not include teachers in their pay raise would simply send the wrong message and be discriminatory toward them. So I am asking you to please vote against SB 231 as it is currently written and to amend it to include charter schools. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Lidio Valenzuela for the record. I am a teacher at Matter Academy East Las Vegas, and I am here to stand for equality and oppose to Bill SB 231. Not because I don't believe teachers should get a raise, but because I believe all teachers should be considered equally. I ask for your consideration to an amendment in including charter school teachers in this bill because we are public educators too, who work tirelessly with the same end goal to make a difference and educate children in the community. Thank you.
Good afternoon. For the record, my name is Susan Kaiser. I am a retired middle school science teacher. I worked for 25 years in public schools. And I want to let the committee know that public schools meet each child where they are and move them along a continuum toward a flourishing future. They do the best that they can with the staff and the resources that they have. And for decades, our public schools have been underfunded, and yet the teachers have showed up session after session and asked for the needed funds. But our pleas have fallen on deaf ears. This session, we have the funds to finally begin to address the continued funding shortfalls. I am speaking today I'm in opposition to SB 231 as it is written, and I'm asking that an amendment for a clean 20 without hoops be adopted to both honor the work of every educator and, more importantly, allow them to lean in to what is the most important job that there is, helping grow the next generation of educated Nevada citizens. Demonstrate your wisdom through this action and amend SB 231. Thank you for your time.
Hello?
Go ahead and begin, but please first state your name.
Good afternoon. My name is Jose Solorio. I'm chair of the board for Nevada Prep. I am the first Latino to serve in the Clark County School District back in the 90s and have been a huge advocate for the Latino community. I'm here to speak on behalf of our students. Our school is more than 60% Latino, almost 80% diverse. And in this world of public charter schools, we need to have a level playing field. So when it comes to buildings or construction, when it comes to transportation, and especially when it comes to the salaries of our teachers that are in the classroom, it is very important that we take into consideration fairness and that we don't discriminate against those who ultimately get hurt by being left out, which is our students. I grew up in East Las Vegas, Sunrise Acres, so I know what it means to be a student in that position, and I would advocate that this board amend this particular bill so that our students aren't hurt. We need fairness, we need equity, we need diversity, we need to be included and not excluded. And I thank you very much for your consideration.
Thank you so much. Next caller.
Hello, my name is Ignacio Prado. For the record, I'm the Executive Director, Principal, and Founder of Futuro Academy Charter School in the east side of Las Vegas. I want to echo the sentiment that many prior public commenters have shared around wishing for an amendment in order to be able to support SB 231. In my heart, I still feel and consider myself a teacher. I began my teaching career in the east side of Las Vegas in the Clark County School District, and know that it is very hard work that teachers do day in and day out, from my time in school district classrooms, as well as now my time being a school leader in a public independent charter school that we founded as several educators who moved from the east side of Las Vegas and our respective district schools to launch our own independent and small school. We represent 460 students and their family members who have elected to join us on this journey since founding in 2017. I think more importantly, from the chorus and echo voices, obviously we represent much more than that. There's about 60,000 students who elect to attend public charter schools in the state of Nevada. And so I would just implore you to consider changing the language to focus on the educator and not the particular building they're in, to potentially consider making these raises for licensed educators that hold duly good licenses and in good standing as issued by the Nevada Department of Education, who already does the work of deciding if a person merits a teaching license and whether they can work in a public school in Nevada. And so strongly encourage you to make that change in order to, one, garner the support of potentially many of the folks who have called with reservations, and frankly, because in my heart, I believe it's the right thing to do. Hopefully you do as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next caller.
Hello, Madam Chairperson and Committee. My name is Kate Wolstenhume, and this upcoming year I will be a senior at Alpine Academy Charter High School in Sparks, Nevada. I began school in a traditional district setting, and it was not a good fit for me. I was falling asleep in class, daydreaming, and was just generally bored. Around third grade, my family found High Desert Montessori Charter School, and I began attending there. With individualized education I received there, I began to love learning again. I went on from High Desert Montessori to Alpine Academy, where I am now a dual enrollment student at Truckee Meadows Community College. I will graduate from high school next year with a full associate's degree. Charter school was absolute change that made me my schooling is successful, please amend the bill to equally fund charter schools so that other students can have the same choices and opportunities that I have had. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller.
Callers, if you have recently joined and would like to testify in opposition to Senate Bill 231, please press star 9 or raise hand in your Zoom window to take your place in the queue.
Thank you. Next caller.
There are no other callers choosing to testify at this time.
Thank you so much. So we will move to neutral testimony. If you're here to provide neutral testimony on Senate Bill 231, I invite you to the table, either here in Carson City or in Las Vegas. Not seeing anyone come to the table in neutral in either location, BPS. Do we have any callers on the phone line that would like to provide neutral testimony on Senate Bill 231?
If you would like to testify in neutral on Senate Bill 231, please press star 9 now or raise hand in your Zoom window to take your place in the queue. Caller with the last 3 digits, 103, please press star 6 to unmute your phone. Again, caller with the last 3 digits, 103, please press star 6 now to unmute your phone.
Hi, this is Sean Dixon. I'm on vacation here in Florida. I'm against SB 231. I tried to press star 9 earlier to get in, and it wouldn't let me in, so now I'm in the star 6. I've been in education for 16 years. I'm now at a charter school in the east side of Las Vegas. You know, we're licensed and certified teachers just as well as everybody else, and I think it would be a terrible thing to not also be included within this bill. So like everybody before me, I'd just like to advocate for some of the language to be changed to go ahead and include charter schools and teachers that have been licensed and certified through the state of Nevada. And I would just like to say thank you for your time.
Thank you. And we will move your testimony to opposition. BPS, do we have any other callers?
Hello, my name is Terry Schumann, SHUMA, and I am speaking in neutral, first time ever, because of Bill 231. I'm calling today because this bill first came out as it was only for paras and teachers. We in the schools try our hardest to work together to get everyone to, we try hard to work together for everyone for our students to be successful. I am very happy to hear that this has been amended and will now include all support staff. I do feel that an easier way to carry this out would be to just approve 10-4-20, as Speaker Don Echeverria has already stated. I also want to thank Assemblywoman Anderson and say ditto to her comments. The last thing I want to say is congratulations to Nicole Canizares for the birth of your child. Please do the best to support our children, 10-4-20, and for the success for all students across Nevada. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next caller.
There are no other callers to testify in neutral at this time.
Thank you so much, members. That brings us to the end of the hearing for Senate Bill 231, and the presenter had to go back to the Senate side, so there'll be no closing comments. And we will close the hearing on Senate Bill 231. And we will invite Senator Titus to the table, who's been patiently waiting, and we'll open the hearing on Senate Bill 241. Senate Bill 241 revises provisions relating to Medicaid.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I look at this as speed dating. So So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Senator Dr. Robin Titus. I represent Senate District 17, which is 6 rural counties, all of Lyon, all of Douglas, all of Mineral, all of Churchill, all of Esmeralda, and part of Nye, which is Tonopah. So I am passionate about SB 241. SB 241 requires the Director of Department of Health and Human Services to include in the state plan for Medicaid, to the extent that federal financial participation is available, a requirement that the state must pay the non-federal share of expenditures for outpatient and swing bed services provided at critical access hospitals, and reimburse a critical access hospital for such services at a rate equal to the actual cost, imagine that, of providing the services, or the amount charged by the hospital for the services, whichever is less. Madam Chair, in the policy committees, we had 13 separate rural hospitals call in. We are not doing that to you today.
Thank you.
Since we are really talking about the fiscal note here, it's important to the hospitals. We worked with Stacy Weeks from Medicaid, and she is here to answer any questions. I believe was delivered to you all what a swing bed is, what a critical access bed is. Hopefully you will have all that information. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer that. But the actual fiscal note is included in the bill that you should have in front of you. And with that, we are happy to take questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you, members. Any questions for Dr. Titus or DHHS? And it would appear that the bill was amended on the Senate side to include the general fund appropriations of $280,015.24 and $683,550.25, and it also authorizes funding of $745,037 in FY24 and an additional $1,724,067.25. So that was amended on the Senate side and included into the bill for its appropriations and authorizations. Any questions for the presenters? Not seeing any. Thank you. And we'll invite anyone to the table that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 241.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Joan Hall, representing the 13 critical access hospitals who are impacted by this bill. We urge your support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Connor Kane for the record. A little bit out of breath, I apologize for running across the street and up the stairs. We have the Sunrise Hospital and Sunrise Children's Hospital, very strong support of this. Thank you very much.
Everyone's going to get their exercise today. Is there anyone else here in Carson City that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 241? Not seeing any, and not seeing anyone in Las Vegas. Looks like we cleared out the room there. BPS, do we have anyone on the phone line that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 241?
If you would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 241, please press *9 or raise hand in your Zoom window to take your place in the queue.
Good afternoon, Chair and the hardworking committee. This is Dora Martinez representing the Nevada Disability Peer Action Coalition. We would urge you to support this bill, and we thank the sponsor of the bill, Dr. Senator Titus, for doing the right thing in the common sense bill. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Next caller.
There are no other callers choosing to testify in support at this time.
Thank you so much. So is there anyone here in Carson City that would like to testify in opposition or neutral on Senate Bill 241? Not seeing any, not seeing anyone in Las Vegas. BPS, do we have anyone on the phone line that would like to provide testimony either in opposition or neutral on Senate Bill 241?
If you would like to testify in opposition or neutral to Senate Bill 241, please press *9 or raise hand in your Zoom window to take your place in the queue. There are no callers choosing to testify in opposition at this time.
Thank you so much. Then we will ask the presenter if you have any closing comments. All right, seeing none, members, we will close the hearing on Senate Bill 241. And seeing that the appropriations and authorization amounts were amended into the bill on the Senate side, we can open the work session. And by doing that, I will entertain a motion to do pass.
Madam, yep, second.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Peters, a second from Assemblyman Watts. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing any. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous of the members present. Thank you for your patience. Next up, we will open the hearing on Senate Bill 98. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. For the record, my name is Joan Ebert, and I'm proud to serve as the State Superintendent of Public Instruction. I've been asked to present SB 98 to you this afternoon in relation to the fiscal components. On page 4, on the bottom of lines, at 38 through 43, it specifically talks about if there is a submission of a request from our department for which money was deposited in the state education fund, was audited or found in error, that we can correct that error. On page 6, it talks about the Commission on School Funding, and you know exactly how hard they have been working and all of the work that they brought to you and the department brought to you this session. So here it talks about the time frame with which they can meet between July 1st of an odd number year and December 31st of an even number year. So that gives them a little more time beyond September to prepare any reports that you may be asking for. It also allows you to call them to provide additional work if you need to have that done during session. So it gives that flexibility there. When it starts on the bottom of page 7, letter F, and then all the way going through G, those are all of the activities that the Commission on School Funding will be looking at during the biennium. And that is a lot of work. As testified during the Senate Finance, making sure that we have all of our constituents at the table as these metrics are being looked at. Parents, teachers, legislators, community, all of those folks that are doing the work, as well as bringing in outside experts to make sure that we get a good 360 on what is transpiring here in the state of Nevada, as well as what's transpiring nationally, any best practices that we can bring in and should bring in a timely manner. And so with all of that work, on top of page 10, section 6, this is where the financial components come in. There is the request for $1.5 million for conducting all of those studies, as well as a $10,000 ask for members for travel, and then also additional $6,200 per year for the department staff. And you have already approved travel for the Department of Education and the Commission on School Funding. But what this bill did is it changed a requirement that they meet now monthly. And so those additional travel funds were asked to align with the meetings. So with that, I stand ready for any questions that you may have.
Members, any questions? Assemblywoman Anderson?
Thank you, Chair. And I really like the look of resignation. Like, of course you do, Anderson. My questions have to do with page 8, which I think we've had some other conversations around all of these different metrics that are being utilized in section 4.5, letters F through G, continues on. So there's a discussion about metrics in different areas that has to do with testing, as well as some other items that, again, the commission would take a look at. Is that correct?
Superintendent Eber, for the record, thank you for the question. Assemblywoman Anderson, yes, that is correct.
So would that commission also be making recommendations on how to improve it? And number one, and then number two, if so, has there been discussion about extending the commission to also include teachers as opposed to what the commission currently mostly exists of, which are chief financial officers, if I'm understanding the current commission setup?
Superintendent Ebert, for the record, thank you for the question. Yes, that has been asked prior, not the first time. What I would say is that as the commission has met the last 2 years, and especially as they move forward in this work, having the teachers at the table. Also, the commission had 2 meetings during the last session where it truly was not a specific agenda set, but it was a listening session. So brought everyone together. Teachers were represented at every single meeting of the Commission of School Funding this year, whether in person and or submitting testimony in writing as well.
If I may ask a follow-up. Go ahead. Thank you. So just to verify, though, there will not be an expansion of the commission to include either current practitioners when they are looking at the actual metrics and making recommendations.
Superintendent Ebert, for the record, so the Commission on School Funding does have appointments. So they may appoint educators. So there's not, no one is saying teachers cannot be on the commission. They may be appointed via the electeds that have that opportunity to do so.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. And I do appreciate also the inclusion of the rate of vacancies. There's the top of page 9, I believe. The rate of vacancies and positions for teachers, support staff, and administrators. I know that's another item we've discussed, but I just want to put on the record that I'm concerned about the metrics being utilized, about testing, and then a commission that is majority financial administrators, not people that are actually in the classroom, even principals or other superintendent. I know that there's 1 or 2 superintendents, but I'm just concerned that people are going to be making recommendations that are based upon financial metrics as opposed to the pedagogy metrics in our profession. So thank you very much, though, for those answers. Thank you, Chair, for that much time.
Thank you. Members, any other questions? I do have a question. Included in Assembly Bill 400 were appropriations for a study. What is different in Senate Bill 98 than what was included in Assembly Bill 400?
Madam Chair, thank you for the question, Superintendent Ebert. For the record, everything is exactly the same, except I do need to triple check if G, I know G was added to 98, and I am not sure if it was crosswalked to 400. I don't have that in front of me. Superintendent Ebert, for the record, my deputy superintendent is looking online and she indicates that G is not in 400 at this moment in time, which is page 9, lines 32 through 35.
The $1 million appropriation included in Assembly Bill 400, and there's $1.5 million in this for, would both fundings be needed? Because they both seem to appear for study.
Superintendent Ebert, for the record, it would be a total of $1.5 million for this work.
And in Assembly Bill 400, there's an additional $1 million appropriation in that bill.
Superintendent Ebert, for the record, there would not be a need for an additional $1 million. The total request for all of this work is $1.5 million.
Thank you so much. Members, any questions? Not seeing any. I thank you for the presentation. We will ask you to step back and invite anyone to the table that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 98. Not seeing anyone here in Carson City. Is there anyone in Las Vegas that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 98? Not seeing anyone come to the table there. BPS, do we have anyone on the phone line that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 98?
If you would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 98, please press star 9 now or raise hand in your Zoom window to take your place in the queue. There are no callers choosing to testify at this time.
Thank you so much. Then we will go to opposition. Is there anyone here in Carson City that would like to provide testimony in opposition of Senate Bill 98? Not seeing any. And not seeing anyone come to the table in Las Vegas. BPS, do we have anyone on the phone line that would like to provide testimony in the position of opposition and or neutral?
If you would like to testify in opposition or neutral to Senate Bill 98, please press star 9 or raise hand in your Zoom window to take your place in the queue. There are no callers choosing to testify at this time.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone here in Carson City that would like to provide neutral testimony on Senate Bill 98? Not seeing any, and not seeing anyone come to the table in Las Vegas. We'll ask the presenters if there's any closing comments. All righty. And with that, we will close the hearing on Senate Bill 98. And members will have to do a little bit more research before you can work session that one. Thank you so much. We will move to the next item on our agenda and invite Senator Spearman to the table. And we'll open the hearing on Senate Bill 451, which directs a joint interim standing committee on growth and infrastructure to conduct a study concerning certain subjects relating to hydrogen. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I feel like I'm in kindergarten here. I'm trying.
That's the bouncy chair.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, Chair Monroe Moreno and committee members. I'm State Senator Pat Spearman, and I am here this afternoon to present Senate Bill 451. Just before I start the formal presentation, I just wanted to read something here from, there will be an international hydrogen conference in Las Vegas at the Palace Station come July, and it's the 12th and the 13th. And I think the committee members have a copy of the brochure, and you probably have a copy of the speakers, and you'll recognize somebody on there. And I just mentioned that because I think that it's important that we understand what we're talking about in terms of doing the study and all the conversation we've had this session, last session, in 17 and in 15. All of that is because it is my urgent desire to make sure that in Nevada we're doing everything that we can to expand and take advantage of all of the clean energy resources that we have. This is from one of the statements in the brochure, and it says Las Vegas, a rare and alluring destination. Nevada is the state in which is the state where it has the most potential for hydrogen and hydrogen industry to grow. And so I just want to put that out there. You all also have a copy of a letter, I believe, that Andrew Woods sent. And we are now in competition. Well, we're one of the finalists with the state of Arizona. We collaborated on a $2 billion grant application coming from the $8 billion that the Biden administration put into the infrastructure bill. Out of that, it's $1.1 billion that really talks about going to our universities. For those of you who are alums of UNLV, that's part of that, and it's about $400,000 that's going to go to them. And the project really it's the SHINE project, and what it is looking at how we can become one of the hydrogen hubs in the country. California's doing it, Colorado's doing it, Arizona's doing it. Oh, and by the way, Arizona's getting ready to open up a hydrogen production facility in this place called Kingman, Arizona, which is right across the street. And so I think that this study is imperative and important because it's not will hydrogen come to the state, because hydrogen is already here. The challenge for us is we have done absolutely nothing to look at regulation. We've done absolutely nothing to look at putting up guardrails or anything of that nature. So you have hydrogen production in the south at Apex, and you have hydrogen production in the north right outside of Reno. And so here's what the study does. The bill aligns with Nevada's commitment to reducing greenhouse gases, and I don't know how many of you all had an opportunity to come out Wednesday to see the hydrogen fuel cell car. And I asked them to bring that up because sometimes when I'm talking about the potential of hydrogen, it can be kind of like trying to explain a microwave to someone in 1945. And that's no shade to anybody's intelligence. It's just that if you have not looked at it and you've not seen it, it's kind of difficult to grasp, especially if you're talking about a hydrogen fuel cell EV. And I've talked about that a lot too, because the hydrogen fuel cell EV is the next hybrid. As we move away from combustible engines, manufacturers across the world are already using lithium and hydrogen as the hybrid of choice. We're also looking at how hydrogen is changing the landscape for the 18-wheelers. It's no secret that transportation is probably one of the biggest, quote, polluters, if you will. And so solving the issue for greenhouse gases is not enough just to do that in passenger vehicles, and not just enough to do it in light truck vehicles, which the military is already doing, but they're also working on technology so that we can do that with 18-wheelers. Some economic opportunities. The global clean hydrogen market is growing today with substantial economic activity and job creation. Nevada has an opportunity to invest in hydrogen as it is already being used and promoted on the federal level. SB 451 aligns with the goals and the visions of the SHINE project, Nevada's bid, and I talked about that, the $8 billion solicitation. Nevada's taking a proactive step towards understanding the potential of hydrogen as an energy resource. And I will just close with this because it's a money committee, not policy. But let me just close with this. University of Nevada, Las Vegas, has already entered into a project looking at hydrogen, and we're talking about 2 years in. There was a letter submitted by every member of our federal delegation, and it was bipartisan, to Senator Granholm, supporting our request to become part of the allocation for the $8 billion. It's also important to note that when we start talking about hydrogen as it was, it's important for us to note that hydrogen in the 21st century is not the hydrogen of the 20th century. When we look at the potential for economic development, we see people all the time say, well, it's going to bring jobs, it's going to bring jobs. And I always remind people, listen, you can bring 50 jobs, and if they pay $10 an hour, that's not an impact. You can also bring 5 jobs that pay $60 an hour. Now you got an economic impact. And if you look at what Air Liquide is doing, Air Liquide is the second largest hydrogen producer in the world. And they plan to grow. And they are already growing. Base salary at Air Liquide starts off at $25 an hour. And you add on to that benefits, and now the people are making close to $40. It is estimated with hydrogen here in our state, as it's happened in other states, the economic multiplier could be huge. We know that here in Nevada we tax on payroll. And so one company, and they've asked not to use their name, one company, their payroll would be a little less than 700 million with a B. I'm sorry, with an M, 700 million. And that's every 6 months. I talked with Terry Reynolds over at BNI, and I said, what does that look like in terms of MBT revenue? We don't have a state income tax, and I notice every time we go to the floor, every session, we're always talking about money for educators. This session, we've talked about not just money for educators. We're talking about school. We're also talking about affordable housing. We're also talking about health care. We're talking about a number of things that we do not have money for. And so the company that sent me the information, if they have a $700 million payroll every 6 or 7 months, that's $98 million that goes to the general fund. And so what I'm talking about here, the study will actually help us to learn more about hydrogen and how it works and how it operates, and it will help us to understand the industry that's already here. And I think that that's important. Right now, there are no statutes, there are no guardrails, there's nothing that says to any industry that comes in here that's related to hydrogen, this is what you can or cannot do. And we were not ready when Air Liquide came in. Air Liquide came in while we were in session in 21. And so this study will help us to understand what it is not, where the opportunities are. And I think the part of the study that is that is most exciting to me is that it also will allow NSHE and students here in Nevada to become a part of the study. What is hydrogen all about? I don't know how many of you all were here in 17 when I had a bill to look at how we could study geothermal. And it was a bill, Ford Observatory Research for Geothermal Energy. It was one of the pet projects of Senator Reid while he was in Congress. They started out with 28 states, and the last two were Utah and Nevada. And so I got everything the DOE needed to make the choice between the two of us. And by the way, Utah has probably not even a tenth of what a geothermal that Nevada has. Put it all in a bill, but I couldn't get it out. And I kept saying, we've got to get this out because they're going to make a determination on which state will get that project. And we didn't get it out. We did not signal to DOE that we were ready. And so Utah got it. And when Utah got it, they got millions of dollars for their flagship university. I do not want that to happen again here in Nevada. So, Madam Chair, and I've got Mr. Will Adler, and he's going to take the microphone now, and then I'll stand for questions.
Adler, I don't think we need to hear anymore.
No,
Thank you so
probably
much.
not.
No?
Thank you.
Members,
Well,
do
for
you
the
have
record.
any questions? You have any questions for the presenters on Senate Bill 451? No? Okay, thank you so much. I'll ask you both to take a step back, and we'll go to support testimony. Thank you. You can go ahead.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Scott Leadham with Southwest Gas, here to just provide very brief comments in support of Senate Bill 451. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Madam Chair, for the record, Danny Thompson, representing the Southern Nevada Building and Construction Trades. A little known fact is that in Henderson, Nevada, since 1940, green hydrogen was produced in mass quantities. It was only discontinued about 7 years ago. The reason it was green hydrogen, the power came from Hoover Dam and was rectified to 600 volts. I was a young cutout electrician, and I used to cut those cells out live with protective clothing on because you would be burned. But the hydrogen produced there was used to make hydrochloric acid, and then the rest of it was burned in 150,000 horsepower boilers. Hydrogen is an absolutely the cleanest form of energy that exists, and it's probably the most abundant form of energy that you could produce. And I think it's important that we study this if we're going to have a clean energy future, because there's no question that it works. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Thank you. Alex Tanchek with Service State Government Relations, representing ACES Delta, here in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Not seeing anyone else here to provide testimony in support of Senate Bill 451. We'll go to Las Vegas. Is there anyone in Las Vegas that would like to provide testimony in support of Senate Bill 451? Not seeing anyone approach the table. BPS, can we go to the phone lines? Do we have anyone that would like to provide testimony either in support, opposition, or neutral on Senate Bill 451?
If you would like to testify in support, opposition, or neutral to Senate Bill 451, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. Again, if you would like to testify in support, opposition, or neutral to Senate Bill 451, please press star 9 now. There are no callers choosing to testify at this time.
Thank you so much. Then we will move to opposition. Is there anyone here in Carson City that would like to provide testimony in opposition on Senate Bill 451? Not seeing any. We've had someone come to the table in Las Vegas. Are you there to provide testimony in opposition on 451?
Hello, my name is David McDuffie. I'm a charter school teacher. I am not doing opposition. I just am late to the table because this is my first time here.
Okay, well,
But
we're on a
just in
we're on a different bill now. We're on Senate Bill 451.
451.
You're
Exactly.
451?
So
Okay.
for 451,
Okay.
yes,
All right.
I want to show my support for that, just so that, because this is just conducting the study concerning it, and just based on the facts that have been presented and understanding what we need as educators, it would be good to just have the study so that we could go ahead and learn. And then we could go ahead and make decisions later, but there's always other opportunities, and this seems to be a valid opportunity that we've already been doing in the past, and let's go ahead and keep on going with it. And so this is for SB 451, David McDuffie, in support of let's finding some other solutions so that we can help everyone and not just other states who are more able to see the opportunities before they're right there in front of our face.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us and for your testimony, and we will move your testimony to support. So seeing no one in opposition here in Carson City or in Las Vegas, we'll go to neutral. Is there anyone in the room that would like to provide neutral testimony on Senate Bill 451? Not seeing any here or in Las Vegas, and knowing we do not have anyone on the phone line to provide neutral testimony, we'll ask the presenter of the bill if you have any closing comments. Alrighty then, and with that, we will close the hearing on Senate Bill 451. And members, seeing that there's no fiscal impact on this bill, we will open the work session for Senate Bill 451. And with that, I will accept a motion to do pass.
Madam Chair, I'd move to do pass Senate Bill 451.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Bacchus, 2 seconds, one from Peters and one from Watts. Any discussion on the motion? Assemblywoman Dickman.
Thank you, Chair. Am I missing something? I see fiscal notes here.
As the bill was amended in the Senate, making it a study, there are no longer any fiscal notes.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
support it, but I just didn't want you to miss it.
All right, any other questions or comments? Not seeing any. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimous of the members present. Thank you. Members, that takes us to the last bill on our morning agenda, but I have a feeling folks just got off the floor. We have a few more bills that have been referred to us, so we'll be coming back. It was nice to be cleared up for a minute. We'll open the hearing on Senate Bill 58, and we'll invite the presenters to the table. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the committee. My name is John McCormick, MCC-ORMICK, Assistant Court Administrator at the Supreme Court, here to present Senate Bill 58 in its first reprint. Senate Bill 58 is a budget implementation bill to facilitate the manner in which the Joint Money Committees close the Supreme Court's budget. Section 1 provides that the Supreme Court may, within limits of available funding, employ such persons as it deems necessary to carry out its duties and set the salaries of those employees pursuant to its rules and policies. Sections 2 through 6 were deleted by amendment. Sections 7 through 12 add the clarifying language within the limits of legislative appropriations in the various statutes in Chapter 2 that allow the court to employ specific people. Section 13 requires the court to submit quarterly reports to the to IFC regarding any salary changes and new positions the court effectuates during the upcoming biennium. And Section 14 makes the measure effective July 1st. And with that, I'll stand for questions.
Members, any questions? I know that there were some decisions made by the joint fiscal committees about staffing for the courts. How would this legislation impact those decisions that were made by the fiscal committees?
Thank you, John McCormick, for the record. This bill is the implementation bill to fully allow for the way that the committee decided to change that.
So it's a budget implementation bill of the decisions that were made.
Correct.
Awesome.
Thank you, Chair.
And no fiscal impact because we've already taken care of that. Just need to get all that on the record. All righty. Members, any questions for the presenters? For the presenter? Not seeing any? Then we will move to testimony in support. Is there anyone here that would like to provide testimony in support for Senate Bill 58? Not seeing anyone here in Carson City. And not seeing anyone come to the table in Las Vegas, VPS. We will go to the phone line. Do we have anyone on the phone that would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 58?
If you would like to testify in support of Senate Bill 58, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. There are no callers choosing to testify at this time.
Perfect. Coming back to Carson City, is there anyone here in Carson City that would like to testify in opposition of Senate Bill 58? Not seeing anyone and not seeing anyone at the table in Las Vegas, BPS. Do we have anyone joining us by phone that would like to provide testimony either in opposition and or neutral on Senate Bill 58?
If you would like to testify in opposition or neutral to Senate Bill 58, please press star 9 now to take your place in the queue. There are no callers choosing to testify in opposition or neutral at this time.
Thank you so much. And we will ask the presenters. No closing comments? All righty. So members, seeing that Senate Bill 58 is a budget implementation bill for work that we've done earlier in the legislative session as we closed our budgets. I'll close the hearing on Senate Bill 58 and we'll open the work session. And I will accept a motion to do pass.
Madam Chair, I move to do pass Senate Bill 58.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblyman Watts. Any discussion on the motion? Not seeing any. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries unanimous of the members present. And members, we're going to go back to one of the bills we heard earlier today and do a work session on that one. The other one, I need to do a little bit more research on before we conduct the work session. So we will open the work session for Senate Bill 231. There's no appropriations that need to be added to the bill. The bill provides for 250 million general fund appropriations in the legislation itself. So therefore, it's a do pass, and I will entertain a motion to do pass.
Madam Chair, I'd move to do pass Senate Bill 231.
Second.
I have a motion from Assemblywoman Backus, a second from Assemblyman Watts. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimous of the members present. And we will stand in recess and see what goodies we got on the floor later, and I will see you all later.